Hi there, and welcome back to Drive Time Marketing, the show where we help casino marketers turn strategy into action and insights into impact. Today, we're going to talk about creating fans, not just players, and what sports can teach us about casino marketing. And my guest today is Dan Kustelski. He's the CEO of Chalkline Sports, but I want him to introduce himself to you. So Dan, if you wouldn't mind.
Awesome. Much, Julia, for allowing me to come in and provide some insights. So Dan Kustelski, I started out professionally. I actually started out in the sports marketing arena. I got my MBA, and as soon as I got my MBA, I went to go work for a company called Octagon. And at Octagon, what we did was we worked on fan engagement on behalf of brands and teams. And brokered a lot of those sponsorship deals that teams and leagues do with various brands. From that is when I actually started to get into sports betting and gaming, where a lot of the sports betting brands were looking to partner with teams. And so I've been doing that for about 20 years with sports. I'm a diehard sports fan. I'm a Viking, all the Minnesota teams, Vikings, Twins, T-Wolves, and my transition into sports betting was founded on that on that premise on how do sports teams and leagues, why is it that they have so many passion points? Like, how do they get so many people? And then the question is as a brand, how do you leverage that? Because a lot of times, the teams have millions and millions of fans, and a brand will say, "Oh, I want to tap into that fan passion. What is it that I can do, or what is it that I can sell?" So I have been doing that, for many moons.
So before we dive into the casino marketing of it all, I want you to tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about your project that you do on the Monday of G2E.
Oh, that's right. So every Monday, and we've done it 5 years running. So every Monday morning at 7 a.m., we meet at the Rat Pack statue right in front of the Venetian. And it is with Veterans in Gaming. And so we raise money for various projects, National Council for Problem Gambling. They've got a subset called Operation Responsible Gambling, where they're helping veterans. Veterans invariably over-index on gambling addiction. And so we meet, and I invite everybody that is willing to wake up at 6:45, because it probably takes 15 minutes to get there. And then we do a very short jog down to Elvis Presley Boulevard, down the strip, and then we come back. And it's just our way of recognizing, I'm a veteran myself, and I know that, veterans need a lot of help, and it's our way of giving back, but it's also a kind of a fun way to kick off G2E. If we did it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Thursday, we know nobody would show up. So we do it on that Monday before everything gets too crazy. And it's a good time. So anybody listening, by all means, please reach out to me and come for a little jog. Some people say, Julia, they're like, "Hey, I don't run." No, that's okay. I mean, like, we run slower than molasses. A lot of times it's a very fast walk. And it's really just a function of getting people together, and that's all for a good cause.
So bring your running shoes, because this is a really great cause. And I love the fact that you've been able to blend really kind of giving back together with one of the biggest events that our industry has all season long.
Yeah, it's huge. It's fun.
So let's shift gears a little, and let's talk about fan behavior and loyalty.
Yeah.
You've often drawn the connection between sports fans and loyal casino players.
Yes.
What do you think makes fandom such a powerful model for customer engagement?
Yeah. So I know. So my experience, obviously I ran an online sports book inside of a large multi-property casino group, and so I sat at the cold. I sat there trying to figure out how to reach all of the casino patrons, loyalty members or not. And sports is just one of those, it's one of those passion points that,
Mhm.
people get fired up about. And oftentimes it's more on like a local level. I'm a, came from Tennessee. My pro sports are all in Minnesota, but I'm a University of Tennessee Volunteers fan. So if
Mhm.
you talk to me about the University of Tennessee, I get fired up. I mean, it elicits an emotional response.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of America is like that. They all have a favorite team. They have a favorite event. They have a favorite college, team. And so the opportunity, I think, is to really find those commonalities. If you're a
Yeah.
casino, like what else? Like selling your product is one thing. That's fine. You can build loyalty around your own product, but if you can associate with other products that then speak to the passion points and elicit an emotional response in your patrons. I think that's a great way of building loyalty, and other loyalty programs outside of casinos do that quite frequently, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I think it really is about building emotional loyalty rather than just transactional loyalty.
Completely. Yes. And so many times, I've been to hundreds of casinos. You have as well. I sign up for all the loyalty programs, and it's like, you look at their tiers, and it's very transactional.
Mhm.
The only way that you can earn points is by spend. And I think that we're seeing a move away from that on the kind of cutting edge of loyalty programs in other industries. And I think that will eventually come around to the casinos. But yeah, it's really about less transaction and far
Yeah.
more emotive.
Also, a little shout out to the Tigers who came home with their 8th
Oh,
College World Series
amazing.
title. Go
I know.
Tigers.
Super exciting. That semifinal against Arkansas was unbelievable.
I
I mean, the
know.
fact that they pulled that off was amazing.
So you mentioned that you've gone to hundreds of casinos, as
Yes.
as have I. Are there any standout moments or promotions that you saw where a casino really got it right in terms of that kind of fan style engagement?
Yeah, I think that when there is almost like this really true local partnership between the
Mm,
casino and the team, um, that's where it resonates with me. When I walk into a casino, and it's not just a couple of signs that say, hey, we're the sponsor of fill in the blank NFL team, but it's like, hey, why don't you come for a watch party? And why don't you hang out with a bunch of other fans? And oh, by the way, we've got signed merchandise, and we're going to be giving away some signed merchandise. It's like, how do you appeal to these people as
mhm.
fans? And what that allows the patrons to do is to make loyalty less feel like a
Right.
transaction, and more like, oh yeah, man, I love coming to this casino because you know what? Yes, they give me points, and yes, I do all these things, but they also make my fandom, actually, they bring it to another level. And that's where I've seen things work well. I was in Soaring Eagle one time, and they sponsored the Lions, and I mean the Lions have been less than good for many years. And here recently, I mean, I was going to the property, and they really do lean in on their sponsorship.
Right.
Not just telling everybody and saying, hey, rah rah, we're a line sponsor, but like
Right.
how they do it as well.
Yeah. And sports definitely gets that emotional connection right. But another thing I think that they have gotten right, because of the evolution of gaming, is a mobile first mindset. Sports books,
Oh,
fantasy apps, the team apps. I mean, they've trained consumers to live on their phones.
yeah,
How should
yeah,
casinos be thinking differently about their mobile presence?
I know. Oh man, this is a challenge, but it feels like there's so much opportunity for casinos to really get their mobile engagement right.
Hmm.
Um, you know, uh, Included in that going in and signing up for all the loyalty programs is downloading the concierge app. And it's just there's so much opportunity to make that a much more fulfilling experience. And I just compare it to everything else on my phone. Like I'll download an app, and within, I'm a, this is a data point of one, but if I don't, if it doesn't resonate, I usually get it off my
Yeah.
phone within minutes, and
Right.
that's it. And because it doesn't, I don't think it's adding value, but those that do add value, I mean, I go to frequently, every time I go to Chick-fil-A, without a doubt, I'm checking points, or I'm paying, or whatever
Yeah.
it is. And that's a great experience. And I think that there is so much opportunity to be on that one device that everybody is carrying around and is so scared to lose. So how do you actually occupy some of that real estate?
Mhm.
And it's just by adding so much more value. I mean, like, how easy is it for me to actually look at my loyalty points? I mean, I look at
Right.
loyalty points across lots of different industries all the time, and it's not so easy on a casino app. Just the simple things. And then the question is, okay, so I now I know what my loyalty points are. What can I do with those loyalty points?
Right.
And that's just where I just feel like there's so much opportunity for these land-based casinos to start to engage. And I'm talking about mobile apps, but I also, I mean, just simple things like good, just digital marketing.
Hmm.
If I get an email from a casino, is it designed for me to read it on my desktop, or is it designed for me to read it on my mobile phone? And that's, again, it's just all of these touch points. Social media. I'm going to check out all of the social media handles that a particular casino will have. Um, there's so many opportunities that exist for mobile marketing that I just feel like very few companies are probably
Yeah.
getting it all right.
So I think you and I have discussed some of the mistakes, we shall call them, that we see casino marketers making when it comes to mobile or digital engagement.
Yeah,
Let's not concentrate on that. And I think that
yeah,
if we concentrate on practical wins, I think that you mentioned one automatically is, can I check my points and what I can do with my points?
I know.
What are some other things that marketers could either consider or even start doing now to better engage their players via mobile?
Yeah, and I'm gonna answer that question with I'm going to answer that question with a slightly different angle. If I were to wave a magic wand and I were the CMO or something similar or head of interactive at a casino group, the first thing I would do is I would collect as much data about what my customers are doing in all of the different areas.
Mm-hmm.
How are they booking hotels? How are they, I've got a venue, I've got a 3,000 seat venue. How are they booking tickets? There's all these things that that actually it
Yeah.
starts for me. It would start with, what is the data telling me that my clients are doing, and how do I think that I am solving that problem with a mobile presence, a good website, social media, a mobile app. And so I think that that's probably the grounding of where that would come from, because out of that data, there would bubble up a lot of, probably a lot of ideas. And also, I mean, I would just venture to say that, asking some of the people on the loyalty program, like, real quickly ask, 30 to 50 people, about their experience. That's
Right.
probably where I would start. Having said that, gather all that information, and I mean, and getting the transactions are critical. I mean, the buying of of tickets in hotels and all of those types of things. But I mean, also, just like, how do I get, like, I want your email address and your mobile phone number. You know, how do I would love to be able to text you a bunch of things. How do I collect that data as well? And so I would certainly start to look at the data that's available, I think, and an analysis of that, and then go from there.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Does that
think
make
that,
sense?
yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. I think that, when it comes to player data and marketing, we have to find that sweet spot, right? Sometimes we go a little too far, maybe not casinos, but you've seen, I get emails from a variety of businesses, right?
I know.
Because I sign up for every newsletter because I want the specials and the coupons and the codes.
Right.
But sometimes that personalization can go too far.
I completely agree. I have I have a burner account of my, yeah, I mean, like, do I kind of want to sign up for this? Like, I don't know if I sign up for this, do I know what I'm going to get on the backside of it? And that's, I agree with you that's probably, the pendulum swinging the other way. I would probably err though on a little more of that if I were a casino though, and a little more, just a little more personalization or go talk to IT and just figure out the single view of a customer. Like, what do I know about my customers? Can I start to segment them and can I give them something? Can I start to test? I think maybe that's the thing, is that I find that maybe casino marketers aren't given maybe the opportunity to, like, failing is not the right word, but to not get it completely right.
Right.
And I think that they need a little more, leeway just to say, hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to try this whole personalization thing. Some of it's not going to be great, but it's done with the best intentions. And if I do get pushback from some of our clients, I'll give them the personal phone call to say, hey, listen, you know what? Sorry about that. I apologize. What are some of those things that you're not so happy about? But
Right.
those are, that ability to start to personalize and to push boundaries a little bit in that personalization realm, I think is really important.
Yeah. And I think it's definitely worth a test, right? We could always take a piece of our segment and test it and see how it moves the needle, and then whether it does or we get pushback. That way
Yeah.
it's easy to provide service recovery if we go too far, if it's a small test.
We do A/B testing on subject lines all the time. And so, I mean, and that's a small example versus, a lot of different, opportunities that casino marketers, have. But again, they probably need to apply themselves and make sure that, hey, this is a concerted effort. I'm changing one variable and nothing else is changing. How can I test certain things, promotions, communication, texts, in-app notifications, like all of these ways to communicate. Like, how do I make sure that, I am truly testing A versus B, and then run with it and be willing to fail a little bit. I don't think that's a problem.
So, my last set of questions is really about, I guess, a fan first future, right?
Oh yeah.
If a casino marketing team wanted to build their strategy like a sports franchise, where would you suggest they start?
The games that we provide at Chalkline, if it's a local game, if it's the Kansas City Chiefs for Prairie Band, or it's the 49ers for Rolling Hills. Those games perform far better than generic, NFL,
Right.
Major League Baseball, whatever it is. And so we know that localization impacts the casinos and impacts engagement. So I would certainly start with, what are my local teams that matter? And people don't have to be sponsored. That's actually not the point.
Yeah.
But are they tapping into the fandom at the casino? Like, what do you have that you have? Do you have a sports bar? If you've got a sports bar, then you're obviously trying to tap into the fan passion of somebody. And it might just be the husband And maybe he doesn't gamble. That's okay. Make that dude happy, because make him want to come back to that sports bar every single whatever second Thursday, whenever
Mhm.
the metronome is. And that usually starts with just diving into the local sports. That's really, to me, that's where I would start if I were a casino marketing team. I know, humble opinion, sports are the most underutilized promotion in casino marketing. And I probably told you this, once or twice, but I always, I firmly believe this, and I am not talking sports betting. I am talking about just simply, you know, leaning in on the local NASCAR race that's happening 20 miles away. And the reason why it's there is because NASCAR knows that it's going to fill up a stadium, and there's a bunch of NASCAR folks that are going to go watch that. Why on earth wouldn't you be like, hey, we've got the NASCAR event, 15% off on everybody that stays at the hotel, that shows us a ticket. You don't have to be a NASCAR sponsor in order to do that. What
Right.
you are doing is you're giving a little bit of value back. Hey, bring your ticket to the Kansas State women's basketball game, and get 25% off on the burger or steak or whatever it is. And so it doesn't, I mean, the sports bar, and the fact that I go into all of these casinos and I see sports everywhere, like
Right.
sports are always on the TVs, always on the TVs. It makes me think that there's obviously sports fans. There's no other
Yes.
explanation. The question then is, like, put a QR code up and say, hey, tell us who your favorite NFL team is. I mean, that takes zero effort, next to nothing.
Instant research.
Yeah, and stand a chance to win a jersey.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to spend $100 on a jersey, and you're going to run this campaign throughout the NFL season. There are far more complicated, promotions, but
Yeah.
just starting really, really simple on the local teams and the local things that happen. And it might be, in Minnesota, the state high school hockey championship is massive, absolutely massive, and we know that a bunch of fans go there. If that's near a casino near you, hey, all the parents, guys, if you bring your Tennessee, state championship, whatever, come on in, and as long as you're over 21, join us.
Right.
That though, it doesn't have to always be this big $2 million spend on sponsoring,
Right.
a sports team, a professional sports team. It really starts simply, but that then shows all of your customers, hey, we care about kind of what's happening in the local sports environment.
My take is that if you've got $2 million to spend on a sports sponsorship, you should really think about what kind of connection you're creating versus what kind of advertising you're creating. But that's my personal
Oh
opinion.
my God. Can we do a phase two on sports sponsorships and the price of them? But you're exactly right. I mean, the ROI, I mean, we're everything all day, every day, we talk about ROI. And casino marketers should really be thinking about, if I've got one extra dollar, what am I spending that $1 on? And what am I getting in return? So, hey, listen, we spent $100 this month on marketing. And how many people actually walked in and signed up for a loyalty thing?
Right.
Like, what else? There's a few metrics that should be that, and I think sports sponsorships is one of those where you can definitely, and I did it at my casinos. I mean, we sponsored some of the local teams, and we would always measure how many new people we got.
Right.
Now, there's a bunch of other ways to look at it too, like, okay, retention and reactivation. But I mean, there's a lot of great ways to measure ROI, and I personally, I think that, spending a little bit of money on having a sports event or a watch party or something along those lines,
Yeah.
I think will yield a pretty good return on revenues and new customers and new signups.
Okay, now before I let you go, we're going to introduce a brand new game. So you're going to be the first one to play it.
Can't wait.
We're calling it Fan or Flop. I'm going to toss
Okay.
out a few casino marketing tactics or trends, and you tell me, are you a fan of
Okay.
it? Is it a flop, or does it need a fix?
Okay.
You ready?
Wait a minute. So I've only got two. It's fan or flop,
Or does
or
it
is
need a
it
fix?
or three? Okay, so it's one of the three F's.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Tier-based loyalty programs.
Massive fix. It's
Yeah,
so
I
it's
agree.
so archaic.
I agree. Mobile app downloads as the KPI.
Oh, huge fan. Massive fan.
Sports themed giveaways.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely a fan.
How about social media giveaways for sports tickets?
Honestly, I don't have all the data, but I'm gonna say a flop. I think just
Mm.
social media is tough. There's a bunch of other channels that you need to use in order to do it.
So one of them that I had was QR codes on the gaming floors, but you already recommended that. So we're going to keep that as a fan, right? Big screen watch parties.
Of course, and QR codes. The beauty though of the QR code is that during COVID brought it all back, and so
Yeah.
now everybody's using QR codes, and it's such an easy way. And I just don't see enough of them on the casino floor.
All right. So what's one flop you wish would disappear for good?
Um. Oh man. I think there is an over reliance on direct mail.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
I think that it has worked so well in the past, and I think that it is one of the it's a challenge that, yeah, again, I'm going to wave a magic wand. If
Yeah.
I were the CMO, I would try to figure out how um how I can take that spend and put it towards other things.
So I'm going to take another point of view on that
Okay.
because I think that mail is still valuable, but we have to fix it.
Okay. Yes. Do you agree though that it's a little bit of a crutch?
Absolutely. Which is why
Okay.
it needs to be fixed.
I think and yeah, and my brain, I just go, gosh, team,
Yeah.
like just don't pick up the same things that you did last year and do it this year.
Exactly.
And I feel like sometimes marketing teams just rely too heavily on that. And what I'm not disagreeing with, that the whole bricks to clicks and clicks to bricks, I think is a real thing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it happens in retail all the time, but it's savvy. It's usually done in a more savvy manner than some of the snail mail that I've seen coming out of casinos.
Well, Dan, as always, it's been wonderful to spend this time with you. So thank you for
Awesome.
joining us. Where can folks connect with you and learn more about what you're up to and what Chalkline's
Yeah. Check me out on LinkedIn, Chalkline and Daniel Kustelski on LinkedIn.
and we'll include links in the show notes for everybody.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you so
Um,
much for having me, Julia. A very, very enjoyable 30 minutes.
Okay, don't forget, if you're heading to G2E, pack your running shoes. Dan's Monday
Right.
Run Group is a
Monday
great way
morning,
to connect
7 a.m.
and get moving. And if
That's
you
right.
enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts and connect with us on LinkedIn for more insights in between episodes. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it, Julia.
Hey.